Here's the January 2026 single family new construction home sales that have happened in the city of Northport. So just want to cover new construction. So we're on top of that. Total, there were actually 34 transactions. One of those 34 was one with a pool home. It's pretty rare to find a builder put in a pool. And so that's reflected here for people can review that. The interesting thing is there is really some good deals to be had. So as we kind of review this criteria here, again, I just want to point out, what was the sale price? What were seller concessions that were paid to make the transaction happen? And also you want to kind of pay attention is what was that seller list to close price? And so that'll kind of give us an idea how good value was overall. So just a little snapshot here, kind of some of these homes here. So I referred to a seller paid concession. Here's a 4 bedroom, 2 bath. And again, those aren't in huge demand, so they probably had to give a little money that way. $350,000 for 1,800 square feet. Here we're seeing lower 300s for under a smaller home, 1,400 square feet. $6,000 for one that's 1,600. Again, the smaller homes are commanding a little less money here. So again, not quite as popular. But again, you see the seller concession of $10,000. We're seeing somewhere in that 15 to 16, 1,700 range, somewhere falling around 350. Here's one that was really a screaming deal, $310,000. Now this was built in 24, so there was some incentive to get this thing closed. 1,800 square feet. 2,300 virtually. And again, they had this was a 4 bedroom, so they had to get this thing to the finish line by throwing some money at it to help with closing costs. 1,700 square feet, 4 bedrooms. So we kind of see where some of these are falling into really very similar homes. Now, 1,500 square feet for 285. And again, this was built in 2004. So, they've been sitting on this home for a while and they needed to get it to the finish line. 2,000 square feet for $390,000. So this is a brand new home, 4 bedroom. Kind of explains some of that there as well. Just following through with some of these, I do want to point out just a couple here. So again, this is a almost 2,200 square feet. They gave $20,000 in concessions, and this home was finished in January. Here's the one with the private pool. This is just under 1,500 square feet, 3.2, built in 25. This pool that was there with the paver deck and the large screen, this probably was another $85,000 to $90,000 that you would pay from a retail. So you can kind of clear that right off the top. That's going to put this somewhere, in the mid 340s, 350 range. So that's a real good deal for that property here because there were some really nice finishes inside this home. Again, we're seeing where some of these are falling. So depending on when they were built and what the seller concessions were, where this falls out to play. And I just kind of want to point out just one final one. So again, we're seeing it some few hit down at the low 300s, 1,800 square feet. That puts it on 167 a square foot. We are far below that 200 per square foot range. We kind of look as we look down here. And so we kind of point some of these out. I want to make sure you see some of these, right? 170, 200. So again, 162. So there's some deals to be had. I'm Bill Bambrick. If I can help you find that perfect new construction home for you, reach out to me. I'd be happy to find you another great deal like we're seeing here today.